It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We got a wonderful, wonderful show for you all today. But before we even get off in the internet, I want to lock up the television, radio, podcast. I want to lock up everything at the same time. So, Chris, let's do it.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We got one of my good friends who's going to educate us on especially LinkedIn and a lot of other things that we're going to talk about. She's wonderful. And I tell you, sit back and grab yourself about 5 or 6 bags of popcorn because you're going to need it. It's that great, but I can't start anything out without introducing the executive producer and co-host, Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about this guest today. I mean, wow. If you are like me and James, you have LinkedIn as one of your social media platforms, but we have a guest today who is a LinkedIn strategist, and she's going to give us tips. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited, Michelle, because you and I have been talking. I got to update my LinkedIn profile. Just been busy. I know that's no excuse, but I tell you, if you want to be part of the conversation, regardless of which platform you're watching, if you just go to the platform, go to the comments, and ask this great guest of ours any question that you might have, or you can pick up the phone, dial 1-866-577-2473, and we'll get you. We'll get you some answers. So, Michelle, can you go ahead on and introduce this absolutely wonderful guest?
Well, yes, the title of today's show is How to Stop Hiding Out and Start Standing Out on LinkedIn. So we're having a conversation with Rhonda Shear. She's a LinkedIn strategist, keynote speaker, author, and business networking expert. And we're going to talk about what your LinkedIn profile must contain to stay out of the LinkedIn Witness Protection Program, how to use your LinkedIn profile as your personal website, even if you have one, how to generate appointments with your ideal prospects and referral partners on LinkedIn without being salesy or kind of sleazy, and why recommendations on LinkedIn and how to give them and how to get them. So let's talk about Rhonda today. Rhonda is a nationally recognized expert in business networking and LinkedIn. She's the author of 6 books, including an international bestseller, Convert Your Connections to Cash and Relationships to Revenue. She's an expert at teaching CEOs, speakers, authors, small business owners, and entrepreneurs how to leverage LinkedIn and convert relationships to revenue. Her natural humor, interactive approach, and 20 years of business experience has spurred her into the forefront as a sought-after national keynote speaker and trainer. She teaches powerful, practical techniques and insider secrets to take your profile to profit using LinkedIn. She's given thousands of talks, including clients such as Blue Shield, NAWBL, NAIFA, Vistage, to name a few. She's appeared on multiple television and radio shows and is a sought-after guest on podcasts and radio shows. She is married and has 2 amazing daughters and lives in Carlsbad, California. Please welcome back to the show, Rhonda Shear.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thanks so much for that welcome. And it's so nice to see you guys.
Well, you are thoroughly missing, you know that. And hey, we're just happy to have you back on the show, Rhonda, because it's so many things that people need to understand about LinkedIn and how to go about doing it, or reach out to you for help in order to get their profile the right way, where they are going to attract whatever they're looking for on LinkedIn. So, Rhonda, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up, just
Yeah,
familiar.
absolutely. Well, I actually grew up in Boston, but you can't tell from my accent. Um, and my first career, believe it or not, was actually in the world of law. I was a paralegal and a divorce mediator. Um, but I really realized that I was meant to be an entrepreneur. So, if I may, can I tell you a little bit of a funny story about how I actually came to create this sure method of LinkedIn? Because it's actually a kind of a cool story. So I'm dating myself, but when I first got married, I was very young. And it was in the days when, men sometimes didn't want their wives to work. I had one of those dads that didn't want my mom to work. So when I got married, my husband said to me, I have one request. I said, what's that? He said, please don't make more money than me. Now, I have two daughters. I know, it's funny, right? And I have two daughters, and if anybody ever said that to them, I would say, run, don't walk away from that person. But what happened was, after 28 years, life just kind of, had some twists and turns. And Bob and I divorced very amicably. And at the same time, my mom passed away. Our house was being short sailed. I had a cancer scare, and nobody was hiring speakers. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm going to be one of those supermarket greeters. You're going to see me there. And I thought, no, I have a superpower. I knew how to use LinkedIn. In fact, I had actually written a book on it. It was called The ABCs of LinkedIn, Get LinkedIn or Get Left Out. So I thought to myself, what can I do to go generate some money, right? And I think a lot of people are in that boat. So I went out and I got my life insurance license. And using LinkedIn, I actually was able to reach out to mortgage professionals because I knew that everybody that was a mortgage professional, their clients needed life insurance. And within the first 6 weeks, James, I was making $6,000. And within a year, I was doing six figures. But here's what happened. I figured out two things. Number one, I didn't really love selling life insurance. And number two, I had figured out a system. And the system was really anything that it was so easy to duplicate that anybody could do it using LinkedIn. But here's the best part of the story. Fast forward to February of 2016, and I remarried my ex-husband. But when we got married the second time, he said, I have only one request. I said, what's that? He said, please make more money than me. Well, believe it or not, using LinkedIn, the system that I created, right? I retired him from his corporate job 3 years ago. So I like to say I have a husband, a husband, didn't have to change my name. The kids are ours, and I gave birth to the sure method. So there you go. It's kind of the short version of the story, but really it's all about empowering people. And I've been doing it since 2009, just giving people an unfair advantage on this amazing platform that is now approaching almost 1 billion members.
Wow. That's an amazing story right there. Wow. Married, divorced, and remarried again, the same person. And
yeah, and now he works for me. He actually is in the background working for me because he's completely retired. It's amazing, right?
So Rhonda, if for our audience that we got the undivided attention right now, I can tell I'm looking at the numbers. Name one adjective that describes Rhonda Sure and why you chose that adjective.
Resourceful, because I think that there is nothing that I can't find simply by, and one of my mentors is a woman by the name of Stacey O'Byrne. And I learned NLP with Stacey. And Stacey always said, make your ask, ASK, bigger than your butt. So being resourceful means asking. And, my best friend, of course, is Google and YouTube, right? And if I don't know it, I'll go find it. So I think the best adjective to describe me is resourceful.
Yeah. So resource, that's a good one. So when did you know that? I know you insurance first, LinkedIn. When did you know that this LinkedIn thing is what I'm born to do? Because you do it well.
Well, it's a great question. So I've always been a natural networker. I really believe you never meet a stranger. You always greet somebody with a smile. You find something in common with them. So I had written my very first book about networking. It was called The 2-Minute Networker, and it existed before LinkedIn did, right? So, you'd go to all these networking events and everybody would exchange business cards, and it was just networking in the way we did before the pandemic, really. Well, when LinkedIn came out, I realized that now we weren't limited geographically. Now we have a whole world in front of us, and we could connect with everybody. And because I'm kind of a little bit geeky in the sense that I'm a crossword addict, I do about 2 puzzles a day. To me, LinkedIn was just like a crossword. It was just figuring out how to connect. And so I said, wow, you know what? Now I can network all across the world simply by searching these people out, finding out what we share in common, and extending them an invitation to just join and connect with me professionally. And it's since 2009, it's all been history. There's 32,000 followers, and every day I find a new connection, a new friend, somebody else that I can potentially introduce them to somebody, help them, whatever. It's like being, in an endless place of amazing people. You just never run out of great people to meet or reconnect with.
I got 2 minutes before the break. Why do you think a lot of folks are turning to LinkedIn now? I mean, they should have been doing this a long time ago, but what is the buzz that is leading them to that?
Well, LinkedIn originally, came out mostly for job hunters, right? And now it's really a place where people can connect to find their prospects, their clients. And, we all have websites. Almost everybody has a website. The thing about LinkedIn, that's where you get to tell your story. That's where you get to share who you are, who you want to meet, what's different and unique about you. And it's very, very chronological. So you can see, hey, we went to school together. Hey, we both like the same charities. We share these people in common. It's just an absolute goldmine of information. And if you use it in a way that really is respectful, not spraying and praying, but actually connecting with integrity, you literally can be meeting people all day long and being that great resource and referral partner. That's why today, more than ever, LinkedIn approaching 1 billion members with 4 people joining every second. If you're not on it, you're leaving all your money under the mattress, right? I always say, if you're not LinkedIn, you are left out.
Left out. We're gonna talk a lot more about that. We got to take a station break. Whichever platform that you own, come and join us. Join in on the conversation. Ask this young lady any questions that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. We'll be back shortly after the break. It's your life.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with Jim.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, along with my co-host, Dr. Mike Mantell. And I tell you, if you missed last week's show on the first, where we talk about 360 degrees F, you certainly don't want to miss this week's show, because we got a absolutely fantastic, wonderful, sensational guest. Dr. Mike, can you tell our viewers and our listeners about our upcoming show?
I sure will. What an honor it is to be a co-host with you and to be working with Michelle. This series, 360 Degree Health, is remarkable. We just covered lifestyle medicine. a medical specialty that uses therapeutic lifestyle interventions such as whole food, plant predominant eating, exercise, sleep, stress management, avoidance of risky substances. And you recall Jessica Matthews took us through all of the importance of positive social connections. Well, now, on our upcoming show on Wednesday, we have the very illustrious, esteemed Colin Milner, who is the founder and the president of the International Council on Active Aging. He is a founder of the active aging industry in North America. And we're going to be talking all about how to live a long health span, healthy life, to be optimized in every way we can. Colin is a brilliant speaker and a presenter. Wait for the information. It will add life to your years.
Wow. Also, we got a special guest that's going to appear on there. We got the Honorable Lord 𝐷𝐿. And I tell you, it's just going to be absolutely sensational. So I tell you, tune in Wednesday, November the 8th, to It's Your Life with myself and Dr. Mike Mantell, and learn a lot about aging, learn a lot about all type of things. And I tell you what, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hope to see you there. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and I'm just sitting here just with my great friend Rhonda, and she's getting ready to really break it down. She's educating us already on LinkedIn. So, Rhonda, one quick question before I turn it over to Michelle. Why did you choose this title? I mean, what title of today's show?
Well, here's the thing. So many people are on LinkedIn. And and we know what an amazing platform it is, but they don't show up like the experts they are, right? So it's like they're hiding out. They're not standing out. And imagine just how vast it is if people would find you. So the reason that I named it Stop Hiding Out and Start Standing Out is because who doesn't want to be seen as the go-to authority in their field? Well, I don't know anybody that doesn't, especially if they're on LinkedIn, right? We all want to help more people. We want more business. We want to be able to pay it forward. So stop hiding out. I call it the LinkedIn Witness Protection Program. Nobody's going to find you. You don't want to be there. You want to be found, and you want to serve, because it really is a platform for serving. So there you go.
I love it, the Witness Protection Program. No one's going to find you. But you know what? I don't know what I did, but the job I have now, they found me on LinkedIn. So I must have done something right.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's actually a good part of it. You know what? You do get found, not just for jobs, but what about being a guest on a podcast, right? What about, speakers that want to get more speaking engagements, coaches that want more clients, everybody. It's how are you showing up? And a lot of people are on LinkedIn as if they're going to a black tie event, but they're wearing their running clothes. They're not dressed for the party. So that's why you want to not hide out, and you do want to be dressed for the party.
Well, you know what? A lot of people on LinkedIn, whatever they do, entrepreneurs or just anybody, they may have their own personal website, right?
Yep.
How does one use LinkedIn as a personal website, even if they have their own personal website? Can you kind of talk to us about that?
Yeah. So this is kind of a hack that I learned that really, I really have a lot of landing pages, and I really haven't had a real website for a long time. So I use my LinkedIn profile as my website. So here's what you do. Go to a domain service like GoDaddy and buy a domain name that redirects to your profile. So for example, if you went to www.linkedinrhonda.com, that sounds like a website, doesn't it? But guess what? It takes you to my LinkedIn profile. So all you need to do is go by the domain name, LinkedIn, whatever you want to put. Maybe if you don't even want to put your name, say LinkedIn reverse mortgage person or reverse mortgage expert, and then just use a redirect feature with the domain and send it to LinkedIn. And now guess what? It becomes your website.
Wow. So, you know what? Can you give us advice about, it's like a resume, right? When people do their resume, sometimes it's like pages and pages, or it's just too much. People want to be impressed right away. The attention span of people of just people in general is really short. How can a person generate a good profile and other things on LinkedIn without just being a little too much to grab somebody's attention?
Great question. So first thing we notice is the banner. That's what shows up. So make sure that you take advantage of that real estate and put a banner up. If you don't have one, just go to Canva, canva.com. It's free. And if you don't know what to put for a banner, if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not really good with this, just go and pick a picture of the background of your city, put your name, put your title, because that's the first thing that people are going to see. The second thing, and this is so important, Michelle, it's the headshot. Oh my gosh, some of the headshots are really funny. Like I've seen cartoons, I've seen people in sunglasses, I've seen people in bathing suits, right? Make it a professional headshot, right? That's important. But here's the juice. The juice lies in your headline. So right underneath your name, LinkedIn will put your title if you don't change the headline. So the secret that you want to do is make sure you use every one of the characters there and put, who do you serve? Okay, what makes you different? And if you're somebody that likes being on shows like this, put that you're a podcast guest, put that you're a keynote speaker, put all of those keywords in your headline. And then when you get to the contact information, don't be in the witness protection program. Tell people how to find you. Most people don't have even an email, a phone number. And the one thing that I would recommend is don't put your personal cell. Go get yourself a Google Voice, an office number or another number, and put a phone number there. You know why? Because if they can't reach you and there's somebody that doesn't want to send a text, wants to send a text or wants to not send an email, they're going to call. And if they don't have a number, guess what? They're going to go to the next person. So be accessible. And the last part is your about section. Your first 2 or 3 lines are the most important. And do you know why? Because that's all that shows up until you see those 2 little words. You know what they are? See more. You want people to click and keep reading. So make it interesting. Tell your story, but tell it in a way that draws people in so they know what's in it for them. It's not about you. The one letter that I see in these about sections, like that shows up about 30 times is I. And nobody cares about you until they know what you can do for them. So make sure that about section lets people know what are the results that you get. Who do you serve? Why are you different? And a little bit about your background so that people can relate to you. So those are the magic bullets to not hiding out and start standing out.
Wow. You wrote this book, the ABCs, LinkedIn. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's way outdated because I wrote it in 2009. You sneeze and LinkedIn changes, right? So it's very different from when I wrote it. But, the reality is that you just need to be able to complete each section, do it methodically, do it yourself or hire somebody. I'm a big fan of staying in my own lane. So what I mean by that is, little secret about me. I have a sign in my kitchen. It says the kitchen came with the house. I don't cook. It's dangerous, right? But fortunately, my husband does. And you know what? Doing a LinkedIn profile isn't quite as easy as you think. So you want to make sure that, remember, thousands of eyeballs are going to be looking at you if you do it right. Make sure that you do it in a way that you ask somebody that you trust, that you know, hey, if you sent somebody this profile, would you feel comfortable referring me if you knew that they were going to look at it? I think that's one of the key things, right? It's stay in your lane. If this isn't something you're good at, hire it out. Right? Hire an expert to do it, but make sure that you actually have a profile that reflects who you are and what you do.
how can people, I know we're going to get to this later, but how can, because this is so exciting, they need to know how they can get in touch with you like now. But we'll mention it again later on, but this is so important.
So how do they reach me? Is that what you were asking?
Yes, yes. And reach you,
Yeah.
so you're the expert at this.
Well, there's a couple ways. They can either go to thesuremethod.com, which is easy enough, or go to linkedinrhonda.com. I actually redirect people to my LinkedIn profile by using the domain name linkedinrhonda.com, and it takes you right to my profile. And there's even a little button there that says, let's get to know each other, and you can book a call. So you want to be accessible, right? That's the thing. People want to be able to connect and interact with you. And that's probably the best way. There's all kinds of cool stuff on my profile, or you can go to the Sure Method, either way.
Yeah, you were talking to Michelle a few minutes ago about using your LinkedIn as your website. Is that hard to do, hard to redirect?
No, it's so easy. And, all you really need to do is go to our best friend, Google, and type in how to redirect a domain name, right? That's the search. Or if you're doing it through GoDaddy, they're great. Just call them and say, hey, I just need to know how to redirect this from one URL to another. It's very easy. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. And if you don't have a website, use LinkedIn as your website. Pretty simple. And that's where you can put all kinds of stuff, testimonials, interviews that you've been on, your credentials, like you, for example. Oh my gosh, I was blown away with your credentials, unbelievable. And the thing is that if you don't tell them, they won't know. And you want to be positioned as the only logical choice. They could work with anybody, but you want to let them know why they should work with you.
Yeah, I did not know that LinkedIn, was able to do all the things that you're saying right now. But it's a wonderful, wonderful tool, and I don't know about our viewers, but I'm learning a lot just with this conversation.
You can even use AI with LinkedIn now. Most people don't realize that, but you can even use AI. And if you want to drive more eyeballs to your profile, and you have a good profile, want the secret? Start commenting on other people's posts. Less than 4% of people are posting on LinkedIn, right? So imagine there's somebody whose attention you want. Well, start commenting on their posts, and thoughtful comments, not just nice post. And after a while, what's going to happen is they're going to go, who is this person? And they're going to click over and look at your profile. And if you happen to have the paid version, you can actually see who looks at your profile. And that's pretty cool to know. It not only tells you who, it tells you when. Funny story. I look every day at who looks at my profile, right? Not from ego, believe me, okay? I'm not doing it because I want to know who's looking at me. I'm just curious to see who's been looking at my profile. And one day, I saw there was one of my first level connections, looked at my profile, and I thought, wow, I don't know this person. So I could see that it was 4 minutes ago that they had looked at my profile, and I looked at theirs, and there's a little green dot, and if it's filled in, it says they're still online. And he had his phone number there, so I called him. And I said, hey, this is Rhonda Scher. I said, I just curious, you just looked at my profile. We've been connected for a while. What were you interested in? And he said, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I was looking for another Rhonda. And I said, oh, no worries. That's totally cool. He said, but since you took the time, he said, let me just pop over to your profile. And he said, I don't think there are any accidents here because I've actually been looking for somebody to help me with what you do. And there I went, a new client.
We got to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up, and we're going to talk some more about LinkedIn profile. We're going to get educated a little bit more. And I tell you, if you want to be part of the conversation, a couple of ways you can do that. Whichever platform you're watching us on, just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, or pick up the phone, dial 1-866-577-2473. Station KCBQ. Chris will make sure he patch you through. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after.
There's more stories of
really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, that last segment kind of got me up. I cannot wait to get on her schedule. I cannot wait. So Rhonda, I want to pick it back up with that. How does regular content sharing and engagement contribute to visibility? You were talking a little bit about that one, and just causing people to want to focus in on certain things, certain keywords that you put in, I guess, in your LinkedIn. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So once your profile is done, you've really upgraded it. One of the best things that you can do is start to comment and repost other people's stuff. So what I mean by that is, we love when people interact with us. So make a list of those people that you want to interact with and start putting thoughtful comments on their posts. And then start posting yourself. And one of the most underutilized tools and most fun is actually using the power of polls. LinkedIn lets you do polls. So you can put a poll up, and if you're the person that's actually conducting the poll, you're the only one that can see the results. I remember we just changed time with the clock, and the last time we did the clocks, I did a poll because I was curious. I'm one of those people that I'm not a huge fan of somebody taking my hour and then giving it back to me, right? I don't really like that. So I put a poll out there and I just asked, hey, do you like daylight savings time? Do you wish they would? And it was amazing how many people interacted with that. Well, imagine whatever your particular business is that you do a poll. And maybe your poll is about, maybe you sell long-term care insurance and you want to know, are people interested? You could actually write about long-term care and then do a poll that says, yeah, I'd really be interested in learning if I qualify for long-term care, or I have a long-term care policy, or I don't care about long-term care, right? Whatever. But the cool part is that when you see the people that have responded, you then have the ability, James, to reach out to those people. So I could say, hey, James, thanks so much for responding to the poll. I noticed you said you wanted some more information. Love to jump on a call. I promise it's not a sales call, but I'd love to share information about it. If you're open, I'll drop a link to my calendar. So posting and commenting and liking and writing articles and just getting visible and creating your authority is one of the easiest ways to do that on LinkedIn. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And like I said, there's really a very small population of people that are doing it, but it takes consistency. You know, it's kind of like going to the gym. If you only showed up at the gym every 6 weeks, you can't complain to the gym, I didn't get fit. Doesn't work. You got to be consistent. You got to do it like a minimum of 3 times a week, and always give before you take. So, you know, you'd never walk into a bank and say, hey, I'd like to withdraw $1,000, but you never deposited in that bank. Well, you can't expect that you're going to have people that are going to interact with your post if you haven't started interacting with other people's posts. And you want to be really thoughtful about that, and you want to share. So like today's episode, I'm going to put this on my LinkedIn. I'm going to share it, and I'm going to ask some people that I know to share it as well. Why? Because if I'm giving out something that might help somebody, then I just want to pay it forward. So, you know, one of the biggest secrets is like, comment, repost, share, and then reach out to those people and say, hey, I noticed you also follow James Cooley. You commented. Would it make sense for us to connect? Would it make sense for us to jump on a call? You know, you don't want to spray and pray and, you know, sell to them, but you want to create relationships.
Yeah. So, Rhonda, what are some of the most common mistakes people make in creating their own LinkedIn profile?
Well, number one, they don't put their contact information. That's one of the biggest ones. It's like, wow, I can't find you at all. Like there's no email, there's no phone number, there's not even a website. So that's one big mistake. Another one is, and this is kind of an interesting one, there's a little section on LinkedIn to the right, and it says people also viewed. And what that does is it actually keeps you on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has that as a default setting because they want to keep you on LinkedIn, right? Well, if somebody got to your profile, the last thing you want them to do is leave. So you can turn off that little feature called people also viewed. The other thing I find that people don't do is there's something called the featured section. That's the best place to put video testimonials, to put episodes of shows that you've done, to put PowerPoints there, maybe case studies. And often what I see, James, is that people don't even add the featured section. They go, what's that, right? And then the last thing, and I think this is really important, are recommendations. You know, one of the best gifts you can give somebody, and I'm going to actually give this to you when this show is over, is writing somebody an unexpected recommendation. It's like walking out of your car and finding a $20 bill on the ground, right? It's like, whoa. And, you know, it's so unexpected. So when you get a recommendation, you can actually see who did that. You can look at the relationship. So it's really important that your recommendations are current and they're pertinent. So make sure you're giving and getting recommendations and that you just complete every section on your profile. Make sure that about section is in first person, okay? You don't talk about yourself in third person, so don't write it that way. That's one of the most important things. So those are the biggest mistakes. And also have a picture on there, a current one, okay? This is not Match.com where you put a 10-year-old picture, right? It's a current photo of yourself.
Rhonda, for people out there that's thinking or might not be thinking that LinkedIn is safe and can be hacked, can you explain to them, talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so LinkedIn's actually now getting a lot more cautious about security. But if you're concerned about that, there is a way to put a double authorization, and you can Google that. But what that really means is that for somebody to be able to get into your profile, they actually have to get a code to their phone. So that's one of the ways that you can safeguard your profile. The other thing is don't pick an easy password. Don't use password as your password, okay? Somebody can log in. I mean, it sounds silly, but it's true. It's pretty easy to crack passwords these days. So do that. And then here's another little tip. You can go in and download all your connections, all of your messages, everything. LinkedIn allows you to do that. And I recommend that once a month you go in and do the archive. Go in and download everything. Because if for some reason you get into LinkedIn jail or LinkedIn decides they want to shut down your account, you want to be able to have all that information. So once a month, go in and download everything. Those are, just a few of the tips that I would recommend just to be a little bit more secure, especially with the double authorization.
So Rhonda, can you explain to our viewers and our listeners what's the difference between the free version of LinkedIn and the paid version of LinkedIn? What additional things they get?
There's several different versions, but there's the free version. Now, one of the disadvantages of the free version is you can't see who's looked at your profile. They used to show you the first 3. Now they don't show you any. So if you want to know who's been looking at you, you need to be paying for it with the premium version. The other version is called Sales Navigator. Now, Sales Navigator is about $99 a month, or it's 20% less if you pay for it annually. But wow, if you want to put your LinkedIn on steroids, you want all of the filters to be able to go through and get alerts and identify, who's been on LinkedIn for the last 30 days. The filters are unbelievable. The paid version are for those people that are really serious. If you're looking to start generating some real quality connections, real quality leads, and you want your connection request and your messages to end up in somebody's email, not their message on LinkedIn, it's called an in-mail, you have to have the paid version of LinkedIn. So if you're serious about LinkedIn, and the way that you'll know if somebody's using the paid version is you'll see a gold button on their profile. So if you see that gold button, you know that person is using the paid version. And it's highly likely that they're going to be more likely to interact with you than if they're using the free version. And LinkedIn is starting to make more changes. There's a lot of different beta versions out there. But, the thing is that kind of the old expression, you get what you pay for. So if you're going to play full out, you may want to just test drive it. They do give you a 30-day free test drive for the premium or Sales Navigator. Try it out and see if it works for you, because if you use it correctly, sky's the limit. I told you I retired my husband. So there you go.
So you mentioned, free, and you mentioned the other version. What about the premium version? How much that cost?
The premium version is a good version. The premium version will show you, who's looked at your profile. It gives you a lot of advantages. It also gives you access to LinkedIn's learning platform, which is called Lynda, Lynda. Great stuff on there. So there's lots of advantages. And, if you just want to stick a toe in the water, try premium. If you've got a good profile and you're really ready and you're saying, okay, I'm going to make the last quarter of 2023 amazing, and I'm going to just take off in 2024, do a trial version, of 30 days of Sales Navigator, and take the time to learn how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you don't have to know how to do everything. Just know how to do the search features. And one of the things that I recommend is, I know, James, you have over 2,000 connections, but how many of those people do you actually know? You can sort, sift, and separate and start to get to know your first level connections. So you can use Sales Navigator to use those filters. You can see, maybe they went to your alma mater, or maybe they're posting. You want to start interacting with them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you again, I did not know, and I'm sure majority of our listeners and viewers did not know that LinkedIn did all of these great things. But station break. But we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up. We're going to continue this great discussion with Rhonda this year. So if you want to be part of the conversation, pick up the phone 1-866-577-2473 or go to whichever platform you're watching us on. Go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, and we'll get you an answer. I promise you. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity.
Noah Dingley here, producer of the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And wow, this has been an absolutely great, sensational learning tool from this LinkedIn expert. I bet she knows everything about it. I mean, everything. She's been doing it for quite some time. And so as you see, there's so many things that we did not know that this great social media platform, I call it because you can use it for that. I'm talking about LinkedIn, is capable of doing. And if you did not know, Rhonda teaches classes. She do a lot of things. And if you really want to be familiar with what all is happening in LinkedIn, you need to sign up for a class. You need to sign up for seminars, all of these type of things. You know, and I'm hoping to join her on one or two of those, so I can kind of get myself up to speed on certain things. So, but Rhonda gonna talk a little bit more about that one. Rhonda, why don't you talk about the upcoming seminars and teachings and a lot
Absolutely. So right now I have going on, it's a do-it-yourself. You know, for those of you out there that love to do it yourself, it's actually called perfectyourprofile.com. And if you missed the first day, because first day was yesterday, no worries. You get all the recordings. You can check it out. It's perfectyourprofile.com. And coming up in January, that's when I'm going to be teaching my course again called Posting for Profit Masterclass. And that's where I teach the secret, James, of how to book 2 to 10 to 20 appointments a week using the power of LinkedIn posts. And I've taught this class about 6 times and had maybe almost, I think I'm coming up on close to 200 people that have gone through it. And I had one coach, just an executive coach, who after she took the course, literally booked 3 appointments right off the bat and got a $10,000 client. So That's going to be launching in January. Reach out to me. It's Posting for Profit Masterclass with the number 4. The registration page isn't quite up yet. And most of the stuff is all in the Sure method. Reach out to me. Also, if you want to work one-on-one, or you're a company and you're looking to train your sales force, I do that as well. So however I can help to basically empower you to leverage this amazing platform, love to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah, so Rhonda, can you tell our viewers, we already told them how to get in touch with, how does you go about setting up? Because I think you're going to get some calls, you're going to get some responses from this. I'm looking at the numbers and they're looking pretty great. So I just want to remind them again that they can get in touch with you. They can enlist you to help them get their LinkedIn profile up to the ultimate level and etc.
Yeah, I mean, I have a client who was a ghostwriter that, for a lot of us, we're all on that revenue roller coaster. And after we worked together, he actually told me this was the first time he ever had a waiting list of clients. I mean, that was amazing. I have a commercial real estate broker. He does tenant only, never touched LinkedIn. He was a LinkedIn virgin. And after we worked together, his income increased by 27% using LinkedIn. And there's so many more stories that I have of coaches and attorneys and speakers who have literally gone from, invisible to visible, adding multiple zeros over and above what they were already earning, just embracing this platform. And that's what juices me. That's what gets me when I can help people to actually change their lives. And they can do it in their pajamas. Like literally LinkedIn is 24/7 all over the world.
Absolutely. You talked a little bit about this great app used to save hours for posting. Can you talk a little bit more about what this app is?
Yes, I will. In fact, one of my mentors, an amazing guy, Joe Apfelbaum, is the guy who actually developed it. And you can actually check it out. There's a free version and a paid version, and it's called usethisAIapp.com. And that'll take you directly to it. So it's real simple. UsethisAIapp.com, and it'll take you directly to it. And I promise you, if that doesn't save you 10 hours a week, nothing will. So check it out. You can use it to write recommendations. You can even use it to help you write your profile, to comment on posts, to write your posts. And Joe actually worked with LinkedIn, so it is approved and really amazing. I think there's less than 2,000 users right now on it, and it integrates directly with LinkedIn. And if you walk away with anything today and you just use that app, oh my gosh, you're going to think you got the winning lottery ticket.
Okay, Rhonda, you talked about some of the projects. You got any other projects that's going to be going on? We're down to about the last 3 minutes of the show.
Well, I'm going to be launching my mastermind in January, which is going to be super fun. We're going to meet once a month, and there's going to be a membership where you'll get access to all of the cool hacks and tools and resources and networking groups and all of that. What I love best is sharing resources, and there's so many networking groups out there. One of the things that I think people don't realize is, we're still doing Zoom. We're living in a hybrid world, right? And you go into networking groups, and the next step is go look up that person on LinkedIn and connect with them and say, hey, you know what, James, I'd love to get to know you better. I'm not selling anything. In fact, here's 3 words that people really like hearing. Let's keep our call in the no sales zone. I'm not selling you, because people don't want to be sold, but they do want to buy. So it's just, making a point of getting to know people. And in those networking groups, go set up one-on-ones. Use Zoom and basically say, hey, let's see how we can support each other. What resources do I have? Who can I introduce you to? Have you heard of James Cooley? Have you seen his show? You would make an awesome guest. So that's what I would recommend that people do. Just think of LinkedIn as an extension wherever you go, whether it's an in-person event or an online event. connect with those people on LinkedIn and always send a personal message. Say, it was great hearing you today on the James Cooley Show. Love to connect with you. I'd love to learn more. Well, great meeting you at the XYZ Chamber event or wherever it was. And here's a little secret, okay? When you're connected to somebody, you can actually send them a video message. Yeah, a video. And you know what? You do it from your phone. It's free. So you send them a video with a link. There's a 70% chance or better that they're probably going to get on your calendar. Or send them an audio message. You don't have to type it. Be personal, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Wow.
Let them see who you are.
Rhonda, tell our viewers one more time how they can get in touch. We're down to the last minute of the show, but tell them one more time, because I want them to reach out to you, enlist your services, help get their profiles to the ultimate, and so that whatever their goals are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can help them reach it.
You can go to www.thesuremethod.com. By the way, there's a free gift there, so you can download my LinkedIn planner, or connect with me on LinkedIn and just go to www.linkedinrhonda.com, and you'll see it says follow, okay? And right next to it, it says more. Click that little button more. There's a drop-down menu, and it just says connect. Send me a message and say, hey, I saw you on the James Cooley Show. Would love to connect with you. And I will connect with you, I promise. Because here's the deal. If you're not LinkedIn, you're left out. So let's connect. Let me learn how I can help you.
Rhonda, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. You got to come back.
Absolutely.
You got to come back, because we need to continue to educate, and we need to continue to make sure that that knowledge is there to help people, because we want them to grow. We want them to be the best that they can. We want people to be able to reach out to them. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another great show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank, Chris, thank you, bro. KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1. The Answer, out of San Diego, and I mean, actually being broadcast all over. But most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your Lord. And remember to always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life.